What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about Disney and The Last Jedi toy sales. And apparently, it's so shocking. Even though I've been talking about it nonstop, it's so shocking because if you listen to these pro Last Jedi people, there's no problem with the movie. There's only like 5 people online that hate this movie. And when the data continues to show that that's not the case, then they will try to make excuses once the data is what we always said it would be. So this is from Fortune. Hasbro's CEO is trying to explain why the Last Jedi toy sales were so lukewarm. Why do you have to explain it? We all know why. It's very obvious to anybody with common sense, anybody who's willing to acknowledge the reality of the situation. But Disney has obviously giving him his marching orders and said, hey, we need you to go out and we need you to take one for the company because we have to explain our failures away by not taking responsibility. So the force wasn't with Hasbro Inc. during the latest Star Wars merchandising push. Chief Executive Officer Brian Goldner says the company made an error by releasing toys too far ahead of the franchise's most recent movie, The Last Jedi. That contributed to the disappointing sales of the products during the holiday season. A season that was already hurt by the bankruptcy of Toys R Us. The fact that we began to merchandise the film in September and the film came out in December was just too long of a period to sustain retail interest, Goldner said in an interview. It didn't help that lots of other toys were hitting the market around the same time, with an array of entertainment initiatives coming to the market. So basically, he's trying to make excuses. I don't care what else is on the market. I don't care when you put it on the market. If you put Star Wars toys on the market and they're good toys and they're good characters and they're characters that people are interested in, then people will buy them. I will buy them. Everyone will buy them if they're good. There's just no doubt about that. So it doesn't matter when the hell you put Star Wars stuff out. If it's quality and if it's helping the universe and if it's not forced diversity bullshit, then people will buy them. That is the bottom line. But social justice warriors don't buy toys, like I've been saying. But there's many things that goes into this. So obviously, The Last Jedi didn't have everything to do with this in terms of the quality of the film because these toys did release in September. So there was that big gap where people still didn't buy them. Now, people bought these toys, obviously. I went out and bought my share of Last Jedi toys. Not a lot. Not nearly as much as I did for The Force Awakens. And that's not because I was angry or upset at that particular time. I was still extremely excited for The Last Jedi. But something about the toys just didn't inspire me. Kylo with his helmet off. Who the hell wants Adam Driver like standing there in a leotard? Like, who wants that? It looked stupid. I never liked Kylo with his mask off. I loved Kylo with his mask on. He looks awesome. I love Kylo Ren, but his mask off, I was like, I don't want that figure. It sucks. And I was hoping something would happen where he would put his mask back on in the film, and clearly that didn't happen. Rose, I mean, do I need to say anything else? She's the worst character in the history of Star Wars. Objectively, not even subject. She is objectively the worst character in Star Wars history. She makes Jar Jar look incredible. She's terrible. Rey, I mean, Rey sold pretty good for The Force Awakens, but you could start to see, like when you kept going back into the stores after The Force Awakens, after months had been out, Rey and Finn were the two figures that were always on the shelf. You know, Kylo and BB-8 and Phasma, they were all gone because they were cool-ass characters. But Rey, she's not an inspiring character. She had the potential to be, but she's not anymore. And so people just were not inspired by these characters anymore. And there was no development of the characters. And so that hurt the sales prior to the film. But obviously, everyone was banking on the film being a massive, success. And I'm not saying that it didn't do great numbers at the box office, because clearly it did. It did $1.3 billion, but that's still not anything close to what Disney was expecting. But there was no enthusiasm after this movie. None. And social justice warriors, the people that Disney is targeting, do not buy toys. Point blank. End of discussion. They don't. I just was in a Walmart the other day. Rose Tico marked down to $3. Nobody's buying them. They're just on the shelf in dozens and dozens. Rose is a terrible character. Nobody likes her. Nobody was inspired to buy these toys. And much like every time this has happened, nobody is going to admit that they made mistakes. They are going to try and make excuses. They're going to try and blame it on this group or that group or something else, when the reality of the situation is you have effed everything up within the Star Wars universe. You have Disney, you have Kathleen Kennedy, you have J.J. Abrams, you have Rian Johnson, you have Bob Iger. You have all abandoned what made Star Wars special, and you have turned it into your social justice platform, and nobody wants to buy these toys. The people that always bought these toys don't want these terrible characters you've created. And the one-time cool characters you had like Kylo Ren, now we don't give a shit about Kylo Ren anymore because you've basically turned him into he's just terrible now without his mask. He's just awful. Leave a sense of mystery. He was so cool. And yeah, I know he removed his mask a couple times in TFA, and I didn't like that, but still, he still had this element of mystery. That's completely gone in The Last Jedi. And I just don't understand why these companies can't just own their mistakes and just say, hey, you know what? The social justice warrior crowd don't buy toys. So why the hell are we marketing to them? They also don't go watch movies multiple times. And look, everybody is pointing to all of these isolated numbers to try to justify things. I saw where The Last Jedi was the most profitable movie of 2017. See, everybody, it's a success. It's a massive success, and everybody who's complaining about it, they're just angry fanboys. So I decided to look up some numbers. These are facts, okay? So I know social justice warriors don't like facts. 2014, the most profitable movie of the year. Guess what that was? Transformers: Age of Extinction. How did the Transformers franchise perform after that, having the most profitable film of the year? Yeah, the Transformers franchise has pretty much died a slow and painful death. Just as slow and painful as that franchise has been on all of us for the past, decade. And so don't give me this crap that just because The Last Jedi was the highest grossing film or profiting film of 2017 has anything to do with the quality of it. Transformers in 2014 was the most profitable film of the year. In 2000, I didn't see 2015, but I'm almost certain that was The Force Awakens. 2016, the most profitable film of the year. That's the year Deadpool came out. That's the year Rogue One came out. Do you know what the most profitable movie was? The Secret Life of Pets. I mean, I know that was a film that just inspired a generation. As a huge pet person myself, I have 2 dogs. You've seen them on this channel. Secret Life of Pets was trash. Okay? It was garbage. But people went and saw it because people have kids and it's about pets. You can't go wrong with that combination. Same with Star Wars. People are going to go see Star Wars. So quit pointing to it being the most profitable film of the year as some kind of proof that it's a great film. The Transformers in 2014 was the most profitable film of the year. And the franchise has went downhill fast. That's the same thing that Star Wars is heading for. Watch, learn, and listen. But once it happens, you won't admit your mistakes. You will just continue to try to find excuses. So just continue to watch this channel, learn a few things, and then maybe, just maybe, you can get your head out of your ass and you can smell something besides what you've been smelling. But yeah, so here we are. It's just more excuses after more excuses after more excuses. The bottom line is Star Wars is heading in the wrong direction, and it's heading there fast. No matter how many times you want to blame it on something else, the bottom line is this is Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams' fault. And they are going to be feeling the pain come Han Solo, and they're going to be feeling the pain come Episode 9. Watch, learn, and listen. And, full disclosure, I think you've all learned this. If I make a mistake, if I'm wrong about something, I'll own it. So if for some crazy lunatic reason I am wrong about what I'm saying right now, guess who will be the first person to admit it? Me. But when social justice warriors are wrong, what do? They blame somebody else. It's classic case for them. So anyway, there's a lot of news to cover. There's a lot of things I want to get into, and I'm still trying to do some research on a lot of things like the Blu-ray sales. I still don't have any hard numbers. I know that Amazon was sold out, so all of the pro Last Jedi crowd was just showing like, oh, that greatest film ever. Nobody hates it. Nobody hates it. I mean, Justice League was the #1 Blu-ray. How'd that work out for Justice League, though? Didn't perform very well at the box office, and it was the worst performing DCEU film. But it was the #1 Blu-ray, so it must have been the greatest film ever, right? The logic that they tried to apply to their blind fanboying is amazing. But anyway, toy sales are down, Blu-ray sales are down. Hey, but you got the most profitable film of 2018 or 2017, right? So you got something in common with Transformers: Age of Extinction. Wonderful. More to come. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.